Okay, welcome to this month's Southall Matters meeting. So, as usual, we are very flexible on what is discussed, but ideally the topic should be connected with Southall. And I'm going to hand over to Arjan because I know you've got a few topics that you want to discuss. So, yeah, over to you.
Thank you,
Welcome.
thank you. I just wanted to touch bases on just a recent journey that I took out to other boroughs and other towns in London. So I went to like you and I discussed, Angela. I went to Walthamstow only yesterday, and I felt like there's a lot of things that we can do there than what we don't have in Southall. So like just coming in, we got like we got like there's absolutely no traffic at the time of day where I went. For a place like Walthamstow, there was absolutely no traffic. Everything was freely smooth, running smoothly. All the buses arrived on time. All like arrived on time. They left Walthamstow on time. It was free running. You know, in Southall, you have buses coming arriving like 5 minutes late, 10 minutes late, 15 minutes late. Actually, the bus is actually in Walthamstow for a town that of the size it is. They're actually arriving on time. So that's another one thing I noticed. And also, I just feel like in Southall we discussed that I felt like I can breathe. I don't know why, but I kind of feel like I can breathe. I can breathe properly over there than I can here. So in Southall, I kind of like living here. I kind of feel like really nauseous and really sick, and there's like this pungent smell and it makes me lose my appetite. There, it felt fresh. It felt more. It felt more like it felt more livable, and I kind of enjoyed my time there.
I think you're right. The air pollution here is very bad because you and I had a chat on the phone yesterday and you started complaining about feeling unwell because you had your patio door open. And then before we started the meeting, you shared that you could smell the asphalt plants. And I suddenly remembered, yeah, it was bad last night because I returned from Witten. So I arrived home, I think probably about 6:30. And the smell was ridiculous. A really strong smell of diesel and asphalt combined. Really overpowering. So yeah, you've got my absolute support because I felt nauseous. And that was just walking from where I parked my car to my home, and I didn't sort of feel normal until I arrived inside and shut the door behind me. But I meant to report it, but I forgot about it. As what happens at home, you get distracted. But you are right. We had an issue, and I don't know whether it's going to rear its ugly head again. Probably will do. There is a welding company on the Balfour Industrial Estate, and you've got two entrances, one on Johnson Street and one on Balfour Road. And close to the Balfour Road entrance, there is a welding company, and they've got a chimney, and quite frequently you can smell burning, and it's burning plastic. It's the most horrendous odor, very, very strong and potent. So I have reported it both to Ealing Council and to the Environment Agency. And the Environmental Protection Officer, he went around there in the morning time after I made a report. But they're not doing it in the morning. Whoever's, as a company, they're not burning in the morning unless it's on the weekend when they feel, well, nobody's around to catch me. But during the week when they're burning, it tends to be around about 4 o'clock in the afternoon because I drive past there on my way home from work, and sometimes you can see black plumes of smoke really, really strong and, you know, an overpowering smell of plastic. When I contacted senior council officer in pollution control, he said they are permitted to have a small incinerator to burn wood. And I said in response, it's not wood that I could smell. It is definitely burning plastic. I do know the difference between the two because I have, unfortunately, the experience in an area just outside of London where there are a few wood burners. And when people are using their wood burners during the winter time, the smell is very, very distinct. Yeah, so I'm confident I can distinguish between burning plastic and burning wood. But I have noticed over the last few days when I drive past, I haven't seen any plumes of smoke from the chimney. So I would like to think,
it doesn't have to be
council...
plumes of smoke in the chimney for it to be that bad. You know,
you
don't have to notice that. It's just smelling it, and you know, and you can feel it in your head. You know, to see that they're burning plastic. It doesn't have to be the smoke coming out the chimney. So it's that bad. It's that bad. And I came home and had about a 3.5 hour nap because I felt really, really bad. Normally.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, you just jogged my memory when you mentioned the asphalt plants today. And I thought, well, yeah, last night it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think sorry, excuse me 1 minute. Well, you just go in this one. Just get what you need. Apologies, everybody. This is a real life household. So there will be occasional interruptions. But yeah, I think, you know, you've raised an important point about air quality. And I think it seems to me
the air quality.
Anything goes, you know, and there doesn't seem to be sort of rigorous control. And, you know, the council's answer, more people walking and cycling. But the reality is, with the excessive air pollution from the gasworks, the asphalt plants, people illegally burning plastic in back gardens, but also, you know, bonfires, you know, are actually legal. You know, you can burn garden waste, but all of that contributes to very poor air quality. And yeah, I think Arjun, you're right. When you actually spend time away from the area and return, it is very noticeable. I mean, I spent a couple of years ago a week down in the southwest, and I returned home. And as soon as I drove onto Brent Road, the fumes from the gasworks at the time, you know, was very, very distinct and noticeable. But yeah, I think you're right also about amenities. You know, you talk about you go to Kingston, Walthamstow.
I just get on a train.
Yeah.
Just get out of the area because there's absolutely nothing. And Kingston,
it's really, really disheartening, isn't it? Why should you have to travel miles?
The Broadway is just there's nothing on the Broadway that interests me. Then you know, there's nothing even in the other 6 towns of Ealing that interests me.
It's depressing. Yeah, I mean, apart from accommodation, you know, flats, apartments, whatever you want to call them, and small you know, grocery businesses, there's not an awful lot going on.
That's why I go to Kingston. I just want to go out, just feel like getting out of the area, and that's almost every day. Really, how I feel like that.
Well, I go to I used to escape because they've got a really good leisure centre there, with 2 swimming pools, and I believe they've got 2 gyms. They've also got a gymnasium for kids who want to, you know, practice their gymnastics. And I was reading in the Hayes Town Forum newsletter that there's going to be some refurbishment of one of the gyms, but also they are going to be installing a soft play area for young children.
Oh, that's
within
good. That's good.
Botwell Green Leisure Centre.
That's good.
And I used to take my kids when they were small to soft play. And I used to go to the soft play in Heston Leisure Centre because, there was nothing within Southall really, apart from the children's centres, which were very, very good. But yeah, there is a sort of limitation. And for young people, what is there of your age? The cinema that we were promised on the site of Gasworks, that's not going to happen. Neither is the shopping centre. I suspect it will just be the norm if you want to do shopping, which is varied, to go to Westfield. I mean, that's where my kids go, either Ealing Broadway, but I don't really think much of Ealing Broadway. I think it's quite limited. But
Ealing
they'll
Broadway,
head to Westfield, yeah.
Yeah, the Ealing Broadway Centre is boring. It's nothing interesting.
It's quite limited.
Like old people sort of shops, sort to say in there. There's nothing. I'm not trying to say it's bad for the old people to go out. It's good for the old people to go out, but it's like the older generation to us to go out in a way, should we say? But there's nothing for the younger generation in Ealing anywhere you go.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
As I said, I tend to go to Hayes. I'm going out tomorrow night, like you.
Yeah.
I'm travelling further afield.
Yeah.
I'm going to a social club in Sunbury to participate in a pub style quiz.
Do you know what? But getting to Walthamstow wasn't easy though. Well, getting to Walthamstow was not easy. I've had to travel into Hounslow West, go get the underground straight to Finsbury Park, which took about an hour 15, and then go on that another train about 5 stops. So that took about an hour and 20-minute tops, and then I went through Harrow and North Finchley on the way back, which took about an hour and a half. So getting there wasn't easy. Traveling there wasn't easy, but it was much quicker. It's much nicer than Southall.
But worth it for a change of scene.
Yeah,
to be somewhere different.
It's got a lot of like flats, and it's also got a lot of new businesses going up there as well. So it's a lot of local businesses have started opening up there. And you got
I've not been there for years.
And you got
probably last time I went there, I remember visiting the market, and I went night clubbing with a friend, and she lived nearby. And we returned about 3 o'clock in the morning, and the market, the stall owners were actually setting out their stalls at that time of the morning. It was dark, and I was like in awe, and I thought, you're starting your working day, and I'm going to bed.
There's a lot of local little businesses there that have remained open for a numerous amount of years and stuff. And I actually bought from a local business just some little snacks or something. It's good to support local businesses. Every chance I get, I'll support local businesses. So that was nice. That was a nice way to support. But the only bad thing is getting out of Walthamstow. As you go towards the big shopping area, the shopping city in Wood Green, there is quite a lot of congestion. So that's kind of like similar to Southall. But apart from that, that was it. And then I had train, and getting back was a huge issue. They cancelled trains in central London because somebody got hit by a train.
Oh no!
So God forbid. So I had to go through. Hopefully they're okay. So I had to go to King's Cross and get the train back through there back home.
How are you finding the Elizabeth line? Because I think it's a game changer when it works and it's running according to schedule.
So
But there have been times, and I don't use it very often, and I've been affected by delays and cancellations.
I've got data here on punctuality from TfL website. From the 1st of April 2022 to between the 1st of April 2022 and the 31st of March this year, this is the recent data they've released. 92.5% of trains arrived at their destination within 5 minutes of their scheduled arrival time. So that means 7.5% arrived late. 90% of trains arrived at their destination within 3 minutes of their scheduled arrival time. So that means the 10% did not arrive within 3 minutes. 83.1% arrived at their destination between 1 minute of their scheduled arrival time. 16.9% of trains did not arrive at their scheduled destination within 1 minute of their scheduled arrival time. And 3.1% of trains were cancelled. And that figure of 3.1% has actually gone up, because I have noticed more trains have been cancelled than they have been running, or they've been severely delayed by about. Last week, was it Monday, they cancelled trains to let a steam train go through. And then Tuesday, they cancelled it because of a signal failure. So I had to go to Hounslow Central. And then Wednesday, Thursday, I didn't use it. It was my day off. Friday, I had to go through Hounslow Central. Trains were delayed. So the entire line was suspended on the Friday on Friday. So I think personally the Elizabeth line is unreliable.
Yeah.
I cannot use the train, and I cannot use it. Piccadilly, the Piccadilly line was suspended in the central section between King's Cross and Hammersmith. So it was like a shuttle service between, let's say, Heathrow and Hammersmith, and then King's Cross to the Cockfosters at this eastern end. No service in the central bit because all trains were stuck. So I had to go get the train to Finsbury Park, change there, wait 25 minutes for a train to Farringdon, and get the Elizabeth line. And every single train arrived late. Every single Heathrow train that stops off at Southall arrived late. And they're telling us it's a good service.
Yeah. I mean, I wonder, if it will get better in the future, because, with all these new developments that are going up around the station, people are buying because of the proximity to the Elizabeth line and the supposed ease of access into central London and in the opposite direction, Heathrow. But, when there is a delay or cancellation, I can imagine they will probably think, well, I'll get a bus to Ealing Broadway. But that might take as much as, half an hour, 45 minutes, depending on, the speed of getting down to the Broadway and then waiting for the SLA or the 207. But either way, it's going to considerably delay your journey. And my daughter's going to, I think it's the National Theatre in January, and it's an all-day drama workshop with a performance that her class is going to view in the evening time. And the estimated time of arrival back in Southall is 10:30. And they will be using the Elizabeth line. So it concerns me, that late at night. And I'm going to say to her, after what happened last week, and I don't know if you heard last week that people were trapped on trains for 4 hours because an overhead line came down. So I'll say to her, do use the toilet before you leave, just in case there is an unexpected delay and you're trapped on a train. It's not like arriving at a station and trains are cancelled and then you can find an alternative route. If you're on a train, you're stuck, aren't you? Yeah, so not great really. And it's just kind of disheartening, all this overdevelopment without the facilities that people need, the doctors, the leisure amenities, school places. I was speaking to a parent at Featherstone High School, and they said you have to live within 2/3 of a mile. That's the radius around the school. If you live outside of 2/3 of a mile radius, you're not going to get a place at the school because it's oversubscribed.
That's the problem. That's the
Yeah.
problem. That's the
And she
problem.
said people who live past, residents who live past Hunt Road
Mm.
on what used to be the Havelock estate,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
they are not getting places at Featherstone. Those young
Have a
people are
look.
more likely to be
Have they
going to
not?
Villiers. But
Yeah.
Villiers probably in years to come will be
Even
oversubscribed,
even
or
primary
it's probably
schools.
close to being oversubscribed.
Even
Yeah.
primary schools, like you got Havelock, you got Dairy Meadow, you got
Yeah.
Featherstone. They're all oversubscribed. No, I've seen the data.
Yeah. Yeah. It's set to
The
get
data,
worse.
the data's publicly available on the phone. You know,
Mhm.
it's on the phone now. I can easily get it up.
Yeah.
And you know,
I was watching the planning committee meeting. I mean, to be honest, not from beginning to when I just sort of dipped into it on YouTube. And there's a development at 13 to 15 The Green, which used to be Barclays Bank many moons ago, but it's almost by the roundabout.
I don't know how
You
they're
know,
going to build on that.
yeah,
I
yeah,
seriously don't
but
know how they're going to build on that.
very limited space in terms of what green space they're going to have there. You know, I once walked underneath, through the underpass before they bricked it up, and the smell of urine was enough to put me off for life. And I thought next time I'll cross over and walk on the opposite side of the green. I'll never do that again. But
I I
just a
I
bit of landscaping and a few shrubs and a nice walkway to a high-rise development, in my eyes, is not improvement. You know, we saw the other day, there's a guy sleeping in a tent. Well, he's there all the time. I think he said he's been moved on, but I drove past him a couple of Saturdays running, last Saturday and the Saturday before, and he had his pop-up tent. Yeah, that's that. You know, there is kind of like a hidden population beyond him who are homeless, and God knows, where they sleep, and they're not being catered for,
yeah, they
in
don't
terms
care.
of all these
They
developments,
don't care. They don't care.
Yeah,
Then nobody cares. Nobody cares.
yeah. And the Hamborough Tavern, that's been granted planning permission as well.
Mm.
And seeing the artist impression of a high-rise development, and one of the councillors, Councillor Kelly, said, oh, you're in favour of it, that it's going to bookend the Broadway. It looks absolutely hideous, because there's no other high rises around. It just looks so out of character. It's grim, the rat pack and stack mentality in a town that doesn't even have a supermarket. It's just ridiculous. A large scale supermarket. I'm not talking about a metro or, small scale convenience store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's just. I think it's just going to lead to more people bringing their cars in. It's going to lead to more air pollution or this pollution that we're worried about. It's just going to be a never-ending story. We're going to go around in circles with all this air pollution thing. Just
Yeah,
more.
yeah, yeah. It's definitely going to get worse, and you've got the initiative Let's Go Southall that is
So
supposedly encouraging people to
basically,
exercise in local parks, but when
basically,
the air pollution is bad,
they want you to
it's not
pay for.
advisable to
They
be
want you to.
exercising outside.
Yeah, they want you to pay for a bike. It's not giving it out for free. They want you to. They expect you to pay for it. So no wonder
Well,
why
no, I mean,
nobody's coming
I
around.
got a bike and it was free. My daughter did the training in April. We are now in December. Not heard anything about a bike. So don't quite know what's going on, but it's not going to have the desired effects. I mean, take today. It was raining practically all day, wasn't it? Okay, I know it stopped when I left work. Who's going to be exercising in pouring rain in the park? So what do they do when they've scheduled outdoor exercise and the weather's inclement, whether it's extreme heat or colder rain? I don't know. It is a gimmick. Joe, we lost Joe. He's coming back into the room.
Joe and Siffy are gone.
Yeah, Joe's returning.
But yeah, I just
Hi, can I say hi to Rashpal? Rashpal, hello. How are you? I hope you're well.
Hi, Angela. Hi, everyone.
Good to
I'm good.
see you.
I'm good. Yourself? Did I? Okay.
Not too bad. So,
Yeah.
how is life for you? What
Not
concerns
too,
you?
not too bad. The things are going on around. Can you hear me?
It's a bit poor, the reception. Can you just repeat what you said?
Yeah, I am
No,
just.
sorry.
What is happening? Just talking about the normal life in Southall.
Mm.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Yeah, it's not good going good for all of us.
Mm.
Everything is like you talked about the cycles
Mm.
that took my details and even my son's detail next of kin,
Oh,
but
yeah.
they never offered me anything, like bike. They said they're gonna give me lessons, this and that. They haven't. It's been some time now, since we went to the meeting after uh,
That's a
uh,
long time ago then.
yeah,
For the
yeah.
meeting at the Manor House.
Yeah, soon after I applied, and then they haven't come back to me yet. So I don't
So
know
you
what's
haven't
going.
done the cycle training then?
No, no, nothing. They haven't.
Yeah, it's poor.
Yeah, they just didn't called me back. So
Yeah.
I don't know what's
The
going on.
communication's poor, given that they've got
Because
administrative staff, sorry, they should at least be communicating and saying, when it's likely that there will be a cycle training course available. And
yeah,
likewise, I went in during the summer to inquire about the bike because it would be ideal for my
they took.
daughter to come out with me during the summer holiday, and they could not tell me where she was on the waiting list.
Yeah,
I suspect April will arrive 2024 and she still want to have a bike.
they had appointment with me. Like arranged asked me everything about my family and this.
Yeah.
Addresses.
Really?
I was doubting them from the beginning, and it proved right. I was right, and I don't think they're gonna pull back. It's not a big, I think, company. It's a small one.
Yeah.
I
You must
think.
feel like they were just into data collection, collecting
Yeah,
data on you and your family, but not actually providing you with any goods or services, which is
maybe
poor.
they're getting
Yeah.
something, from council, like money or something, for the service they're doing. They may be, like pretending how they are doing. All of most of them, they are doing like that.
Yeah.
And there's lots of buildings going around on, like near my house, there is one building going on, and the other places I don't know where I saw. And it's chaos everywhere, like the transport and the trains are often delayed, like it is taking a lot more time to reach to the destination. And
Absolutely.
yeah,
You must see the development on Southall Market going up.
yeah, I think so. I see that one. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've never
yeah.
seen that one. Yeah,
Are you affected? Do you get any noise and dust pollution?
yeah, dust could be smelling something. Times bad smell coming. When we go there on the like Park Avenue and this
Really?
Bakersfield Road. Yeah, smelling
Yeah,
bad.
yeah. And there are
Sometimes.
developments going up on Park Avenue and above Punjabi Bank. I don't know, well, that obviously closed down. It used to be Southall Post Office. Yeah.
Also,
But speaking of the Crown Post Office on the Broadway, obviously that's at risk of being closed, which is not
that's right.
good. Not good
Yeah,
at all.
because I use that one, so I am not, others are too far for me, and this one was like I used to use it all the time, And also my father, he's older, he's using this one.
Mm.
So a lot of people maybe, I
And do you
think affected.
do you know
They
the
need
one? Oh,
they need to, like sign that thing,
Yeah,
to
yeah.
yes.
I mean, it's necessary.
Do you know the? Sorry to interrupt,
Yeah,
Mike.
go on. Yeah,
Yeah, do you know the one just here near my house on Western Road?
yeah.
They close that when they see fit. They
Do
don't.
they?
Yeah, they close that when they see fit. They open at 9 o'clock. They close around about 1, 2 o'clock for lunch. Never come back.
Are you
I
sure?
don't know.
I thought
Yeah,
they closed.
And then
Because
they're
I
not
turned
like
up once
during the
just before
weekday.
1 o'clock.
Yeah,
Oh, or maybe it was just after 1 o'clock, and they were shut. And then I
during the week.
noticed on the sign, closed for lunch 1 to 2. So I went back after 2 o'clock, and it was open.
They whenever I use it, they're always shut, and they're not open. They're not open like 5 days a week. They just open it whenever they want, for how long they want, and close it and
Yeah,
go.
that's
I,
poor.
I
I
heard
went there. I couldn't get I had to get my photograph taken for a photo ID driving license. They don't provide that particular service. The post office on Southall Broadway does. So I had to go to that post office.
Yeah,
Now, if that closes, and if I needed just say, for argument's sake, a photo card license, and I wasn't capable of taking a photograph myself, the only alternatives would be the post office in Hanwell or in Hounslow. I just think that's ridiculous.
they're
there's
doing whatever.
there's also a passport place in on King Street that does that sort of stuff as well. I think.
Yeah,
Near the
but I think
jewelry.
it was just easy. They just sent it. I'm sure they sent the application for me. Yeah,
But to get photos, it's easier just to go to that little, that passport, that photo place on
yeah,
King Street near the
yeah,
jewelry shop, and just get it from
They're
there.
doing
yeah.
whatever they like, they are not
Exactly.
listening to the public.
Mm.
Like I heard that lady, the Anand, her name is on the Desi
Council,
radio the other day.
Councillor Anand, was she on the radio? What, on Saturday?
I think it was, I don't know which day it was, I don't know.
Yeah.
And she was mentioning about say, a park, big park in Perivale or somewhere, like they're gonna build the facilities like for the people. She was asking, what do you want, over there? So they can build that.
I'm not going
They
to Rushpole. I'm not going to travel to Perivale to go to a park. It's too
Yeah,
far.
that's too far for her. And the people asked for the transfer. She said it can be planned, and everything is can happen, she said. And like it's not possible for the people. How they gonna older people gonna go, go there without, they have to plan it before everything,
It's not
before
for us. It's not for the likes of us in Southall.
community
And
is
that'll be just an excuse just to further run down the facilities at Southall Park and Southall Recreation Ground. The facilities need to be on people's doorsteps within walking or
Angela,
cycling distance.
it's like
like
what I said to
community
you.
center or something, like art or, like cinema or something. I don't know what she was on about over there.
Cinema, there's not going to be a cinema.
I don't
You
know.
know, the
They're doing
Berkeley
art,
Group, Berkeley Group decided not to build, they've dropped their plan to build a cinema and a shopping centre. And
I don't know what they're
I mean, to be honest
doing.
with you, I'm kind of like ambivalent about a shopping centre because that's going to mean more cars being introduced to Southall. There are
Just the
times,
flats. I can see
the
the
area
flats.
is clogged with traffic and you cannot get anywhere within a reasonable amount of time. If peak times, and Arjan, you pointed out there were temporary traffic lights on the green.
Yep.
Yeah, there are.
I dread to think, right, going from where we live, Old Southall to New Southall in a reasonable timescale. I said to you, I had a doctor's appointment, a hospital appointment at Hammersmith Hospital. And there were no temporary traffic lights on the green, but the traffic was backed up all the way to, you know, where the Parade of Shops is, you know, there's a bus stop there. I had to get off there and then walk to the station. Normally, if the traffic's flowing, I get off at Park Avenue and then turn around and walk to the station because it's a little bit quicker. But I really feel sorry for elderly people trying to get around, you know, this borough. It's terrible. And Southall. And Rashpal, you talked about a community centre. You know, we don't have a decent community centre.
She said they're gonna build it in the park, you know, but the people was asking build this, build that, you know, make this like I don't know what. So they were calling in and asking him to make this, you know, and I don't know what she's going to like after that. And they are ruining our, you know, place, and they are doing whatever is pleasing them. Like they're changing rules and regulations all the time, and it's not for us, you know. I think it's for the rich people. Everything they are doing, and they are doing for themselves.
What they're trying to do is they're trying to get the people who have lived out to get new people in. That's what their plan is. But you guys discussed in the
gentrification, Arjan.
Yeah, that's the word.
And they're making it unaffordable.
That's the word. They want to get the old people out to get the new people in, and they are succeeding really badly in doing that.
This here is bad, you know. Don't have much money for people, don't have enough. So how the people from the other countries they can afford it? They don't even have worse, you know. Their circumstances are even worse. So how can they afford it here? And it's I don't know what they are doing.
They can't, Rashba, because you see the young people from, I'm presuming, India, and they're traveling around with their suitcase trying to find a room. The number of times I'm on next door and you've got people saying, I need a room to rent, and their budget is very limited. They're struggling.
Lots of them, you know, like they're troublemakers, you know, like they are making trouble, these people. And some are good and some are bad in every, you know, religion. And some are troublemakers, you know. And it's not here is not like, you know, before. It's changed a lot, you know. Like lot, it's overpopulated these areas, and needs to be managed, you know, like controlled. And
Rashpa, what do you mean troublemakers? Do you mean what, they're behaving in an antisocial way? What, swearing, drinking on the street?
Like religious, you know, like the Hindu and Sikh. Maybe you heard about it.
Okay.
And the Hindus, they are, you know, like I am Sikh, you know, from India, Punjab, and they are a lot of hatred. They are killing our people, you know, in India and here. They are saying we are you know, we are not good people, you know. We are bad people, you know, like Khalistani means bad person, you know. And the Hindus, they came here, you know, these youngsters especially. A lot of them are here. They are making things worse for others, you know, for the sick people.
We don't need, you know, that kind of religious and political division, you know, because we have to look at what actually we have in common. And, you know, this is, you know, what we talked about, Arjun, but having a community centre where people can come together, and it's not about, you know, being in a place where, you know, you're going to be indoctrinated into a particular religion. And I think, you know, if we had that place where we could come together, people would realize, actually, you might be Sikh, you might be Hindu, you might be Catholic, you might be church, whatever, but we have more in common than what divides us. Particularly as you talked about the gentrification, which is really like, you know, an attack on ordinary people, because we are not going to be able to afford all these new developments that are
They
being
they are killing.
erected
They
locally.
killed in '84. They're killing our people,
Yeah,
and many of them they are saying they are like I don't know what they are saying they are doing bad activities, and
yeah.
these youngsters especially here and there in India they
Mm.
are like gangs they are
We just don't need that.
like
And the local politicians should be sort of speaking out and looking at what they can do to build links that are harmonious.
You know, and that,
Rashpal, I
you
just
know,
want, because
it's just
Joe's joined again. I don't want to lose Joe. Joe, welcome tonight.
Thanks.
Would you be able to share? I mean, obviously you're free to talk about whatever you want to talk about, but I'd be particularly interested to know about the protest outside of Southall Town Hall in support of a ceasefire in Gaza.
It was excellent. I mean, the turnout was horrendous. So many people, so many backgrounds. Religion or creed didn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
This is a cause that's touching people's hearts. We have never in our lifetime seen so much proof come out of Gaza. I mean, how can you take out hospitals? How can you take out doctors? How can you kill, massacre people
Mm.
in the numbers that people have been slaughtered, basically?
Mm-hmm.
And it's unbelievable. I mean, we talk about Germany, what happened under the rule of
Hitler.
war
Yeah.
in Hitler's time.
Mm-hmm.
But to see it in our lifetime, it just makes you very, very, very angry that our politicians are blind and they're also deaf. How can you not feel sorry for a child that's buried under tons and tons of rubble? I mean, how can these politicians sleep at night? Where is their conscience? Don't they have children of their own? Have we lost empathy?
Yeah.
Has society gone absolute mad that society can see what is unearthing
Mm.
in Gaza, in Palestine, but yet our politicians are blind and they do not think or feel the empathy that the local public are feeling towards Gaza and Palestine.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I mean, it was an excellent turnout and
I
it
saw
went on
all the
for hours.
videos. Yeah.
It went on for hours,
Good.
Uh,
Good.
there is something, we're trying to plan something special for January, but
Excellent.
I think the councillors know they're finished. Mr. Sharma's history, as far as the population are concerned.
What is the reaction to Mr. Sharma in the religious houses, the temples and the mosques? Do you know?
Well, we had a number of leaders from the mosques present. It was a shame, a very big shame, that we did not have any Sikh church leaders or so-called leaders present in the march or in the gathering. See, the gathering started outside Southall Town Hall.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the majority of the speeches took place.
Yeah.
And thereafter, we walked down South of Broadway. And we ended up on the mosque on the corner of Western Road and the Broadway. I mean, children in their hundreds were out, kids.
That's impressive. That is very impressive.
Giving speeches. And yet, I was very saddened that the Sikh community was not out in force. None of our leaders were there. Now, when you say about the local politics, the Sikh temple tried very, very, very hard to get Jasbir Anand, the councillor, elected into the GLA. But unfortunately, she lost.
No,
Now,
Bassam Mafood was
yes, he won. He won.
selected,
He won,
sorry. Yeah, to stand for the
I've
Ealing and
heard of.
Hillingdon GLA seat.
Yes, I've
By the
heard a
way,
lot
I
of good
don't think
things.
he's Pakistani because in his write-up he said his mum was from the Lebanon. He's Lebanese background.
He is a solid person.
Okay.
He's the people's choice. Because what happened to me was I received a phone call about 2 weeks, or should I say, no, about 1.5 weeks before the election. And I explained to the person who rang me that we've been struggling in Southall since late 2015. And the councillor Anand has not been involved with the residents. And what good is she going to do by going and having coffee, sitting with the Mayor of London? If you're no good for your home people, you're not going to be no good for the London people. It's very simple.
Mm.
And would you believe, Angela,
Mm-hmm.
when I was looking for my ballot on the internet, the Labour Party didn't send me my vote.
That's bad, Joe.
This is how controlling the mafia at work are. I'm a member of the Labour Party. So why didn't I get my ballot? Why didn't I get my vote?
Mm.
If I would have agreed with them and said, yes, I'll vote for her, I probably may have got my vote.
Yeah.
But because I made it very clear that I was not going to vote for her,
Yeah.
I didn't get my ballot. So this is the Labour Party at work in Southall or in London. This is how
Yeah,
sad.
there's a lack of local democracy. And, you know, as you said, Ealing, Southall CLP hasn't had a meeting in, is it 5 years? I'm sure Dr. Sahota said 5 years, and that's just
We were at the last one. Do you remember?
alarming.
We were at the last one.
Yeah. Yeah.
When we asked that Mr. Sharma should step down, you know, he lost the confidence.
Mm.
That was a nice speech I gave you, if you remember.
But the problem is, Joe, I think people
problem.
look at national politics. They look at the Conservatives and what's happening and the loss of sort of confidence in their ability to sort of lead the country, you know, with all what's going on economically. And they'll just vote Labour rather than looking at the failings of Ealing Labour and how, you know, we are not listened to in Southall. And what I find quite interesting, I noticed on Twitter that Virendra Sharma was scheduled to protest outside of the post office at 10:30 on Saturday morning. So I don't know if he turned up. And I thought, you know, wouldn't it be good if he walked down the road, you know, and turned up to your demonstration outside of the town hall?
The problem is that there were some photographs that I saw. AK took some photographs, and he even done an interview. Now, it's the old story, Angela. In Southall, they will get together for a photo shoot.
Mm-hmm.
They had no signs or placards saying keep the post office open. They were just standing there. The Cheshire cat was smiling as usual.
Who's the Cheshire cat?
Everybody should know who the Cheshire cat
Virendra
is.
Sharma.
everybody should know who he is.
Sharma
He
drama.
just gives you, he just gives you that smile that
Yeah,
I'm making much out of all of you,
yeah,
and
yeah,
there's nothing
yeah.
you can do about it. So at the moment, they're all worried because there is a new force in town, and like I said, there's going to be a lot of changes in the local politics in Southall very soon.
But
Very soon.
is there really, Joe? I mean, if you know, I've always heard, you know, since we started campaigning on air quality and the gas works, that effectively the Sikh temples are a vote bank for Virendra Sharma, and the leaders just direct people, you know, vote Labour, and people just follow what they are guided to do. So if that culture doesn't change, what hope is there, Joe?
One thing you must bear in mind, that Southall itself, with all the religious organizations that we have in Southall, they've always used it as a vote bank, 100%. I say that with 100% confidence. But now things are going to change for the simple fact that our forefathers are gone. They're no longer here. And the youngsters, everybody's educated. And they can see and tell the difference between the gray area and the white area. So that's going to help us, because even people in their 50s that I speak to, even 60s, and even some pensioners, they've had enough of Mr. Sharma, because all they're getting is nothing in return, basically. What is Southall getting in return from our politicians? Nothing. We've got nothing.
Nothing to benefit the community. And
Nope.
When they look at their the young people, the offspring and the grandchildren who are not going to be able to afford to buy in Southall, and it's you know, the improvements, so-called improvements, regeneration is not benefiting. It's worsening, actually, our health and our lifestyle, and yeah, right down to lifespan.
It's not for the local people.
No,
These
but
developments.
yeah,
These
I mean,
developments
we
are not
worked
for the local
hard,
people.
all of us. We worked hard, didn't we? I mean, obviously, it's not the only development, but the sheer audacity of Berkeley Group to submit a planning application to more than double the number of homes on the site, from 3,750 to 8,100. And okay, we don't have, if you like, the pulling power of people, not Greenpeace, but you know, people who live in the more affluent parts of the borough. So there are only 104 comments on the planning application portal, and 101 were against or objected to the development. But I think, you know, it is disheartening when you know, I don't know whether you would want to share what you told me about discussions behind the scenes with an individual connected with the property developer and local politicians.
I would at the moment keep quiet. Maybe in January or February we can have that discussion.
Yeah,
but
it's absolutely disheartening that it's about money, isn't it?
But Angela, I've always said, Southall, ever since I can remember, from childhood to now, in the last 58 odd years, money talks and bullshit walks. It's very simple. You can't get simpler than that. Nobody, I've never come across a politician in Southall who gives a damn about the people of Southall.
Yeah.
Everybody is in it for themselves. If you look at what's happening now at the moment, try writing a letter on email or emailing or telephoning a councillor. And people are telling me, they said when they were knocking on our doors, we were promised the earth and we're getting zero. So they know they can get away with it.
Yeah.
But now I think the next general election is going to be a very difficult one. I don't see Mr. Sharma winning. That's my personal view. Even
I don't know. I think it's just, you know, the whole point of voting Labour, it's seen as the logical party if you are from an immigrant and working class background. You know, that won't change. But it's shocking, really.
Angela, he hasn't got the stamp. He hasn't got the stamp.
Yeah.
It's okay
Really?
saying Labour, but there's other independent people who can stand under the Labour wing. They can stand under independent Labour. So
Joe, are you going to stand?
hopefully, touch wood, I'll give him a run for his money.
Yeah.
Because now we know 100% he doesn't live in Southall. He lives in Ivor.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he doesn't live in Southall.
Yeah. So yeah. I mean, I don't know either, but you know, I have driven out into Buckinghamshire.
He's just a front.
Yeah.
Southall, he just shows that he's in Southall, but he's not. I mean, look at the other thing. Go to his office. No disabled person can climb those 50 or 45 steps to get to his office. He's built himself a nest.
So what does he do? Does he do home visits?
Sorry?
Does he do home visits? Does it, you know, somebody's, yeah, you're quite right. I mean, I don't think there's a lift. I mean, I remember the stairs and I was, you know, taken to his constituency office. But I know I heard, you know, John McDonnell will actually go and visit people at home. Does he do the same, do you think?
No idea.
I've never seen.
I wouldn't like to say.
I've never seen it happen. So.
No one's ever told me that.
No.
Yeah.
In the time.
No, but I'm just thinking of somebody who's disabled and you know, has limited mobility and is disadvantaged. But yeah, he let down a certain person, and I won't mention his name because he's not here on the call, but he's disabled, a wheelchair user, and arrangements were made for Mr. Sharma to accompany him on a bus. Yeah. For him to actually experience what this young man experiences regularly, you know, buses breaking down, the ramps not working, not being able to, you know, access a bus. And that was postponed and it was supposed to be rearranged. And as far as I know, it hasn't been. And this was months and months ago, but it was postponed.
April, Angela.
April, yeah.
April it was. Yeah. I remember.
I will double check with him, but I think he would have said if it had been rearranged.
I remember we were speaking about this in April. It's been that long.
Yeah. It's complete, I think, contemptuous behaviour towards
Mr. Sharma.
Constituents.
Mr. Sharma is too busy running the country. He surely hasn't got time to have bus rides with a resident.
Yeah.
And the rest of the councillors are all hiding away from the public because they're afraid that somebody might ask them a question.
Well, they don't engage. And have you noticed on X that they are not open to replies? They've used that facility so they don't receive replies. You know, they don't want to openly engage. they're far more interested in creating propaganda. And, you know, I'd be interested to know, obviously the youth centre, the young adult centre, that was saved and that is going to be refurbished. But when I don't ever hear my children, they are teenagers, talk about the YAC, they don't seem to have any knowledge of whether there's any services on offer that they could access at the YAC. It's just disgraceful.
That was an embarrassment. That was an embarrassment for London Borough, really.
Yeah.
Especially when they were saying at the meeting, the councillors were saying that, Mr. Bangu, the decision's been made and there's nothing you can do about it. Who's got egg on their face now?
Yeah, nonsense.
Yeah. Our councillors have egg on their face. Very simple.
They just, you know, they have no allegiance to the concept of public service. They are only interested in serving their own interests. But yeah, it has to surely change in Southall. You know, we're becoming more diverse as a population. Joe, you talked about an older generation passing on. You know, I think the status quo has to be challenged. And people of your age, Arden, will look around and think, well, you know, I've been to university, I've got myself a degree, got a good job, I still can't afford to move out of my parents' home. I'm not saying that will definitely happen, but, you know, there's a high risk because of the lack of availability of affordable housing. I was going to ask you, you've registered to attend his forum for young people. Is that in February?
February the 29th, yeah, just towards the end.
Yeah, and I think really it sounds a good idea, but in practice, what I find, you know, there'll be lots of talk and discussion and points raised,
There's not
but
going to be
those
any
points
answers.
will go nowhere. So there'll be another forum, maybe in, say, another 6 months, and the same issues will arise.
Yeah.
And he doesn't come back with any actions carried forward.
Let's just. I just want to see how it. I just want to see how it works, really. Whether that, you know, if it's actually just the youth, if he so listens, but I hardly doubt so he will.
Yeah, because I remember when I was at college many moons ago, and we actually had a forum, and there were politicians from all the main parties, Conservative, Labour, the forerunner to the Lib Dems, probably the Liberals, and it was very interesting to hear them debate with each other, similar to Question Time on the BBC.
Yeah.
And I just feel, really, for these young people, just to put their viewpoints to him, he's representing just one political party.
I think he's. I think this is a question time for the youth people of Southall, isn't it?
Yeah. But he definitely.
But
But you know, I find these events are so highly controlled. I mean, obviously, you'll let us know after the event whether you've been able to ask a question. But to me, it's like theatre. It's all really kind of like pre-planned. They probably already know who in the audience they're going to select to ask questions. You know, it's not really you know, democratic. And I remember when the mayor held his question time at Ealing Town Hall, and there were 2 Labour councillors who Dr. Sahota selected to ask questions. And they were safe questions, you know, nothing challenging. And I almost had a chuckle to myself because, one, soon as she asked a question, literally within about 5 to 10 minutes, she walked out and left. Didn't stay until the end of the meeting. And
Typical.
yeah. But Joe, I'm going to ask you, I don't know if you've read or you're aware that Ealing Council have a sum of money from the National Institute for Health Research, £5 million, yeah? And that's to sort of facilitate research where the community are involved. And one of the partners is Southall Community Alliance.
As usual.
And part of me being absolutely cynical, well, a big part actually, whatever research is done, the results will be what we already know without necessitating funding research. But, you know, I think whether it's a good use of public money, I don't know. I doubt it. Yeah, so
it's going to be same old, same old.
Yeah.
Nothing changes in Southall.
So somebody must be rubbing their hands with glee that
Of course.
that there's lots of funding.
I'm all right, Jen.
Yeah,
all right,
to do research, and who knows, you know, how ethical this research is going to be. But, you know, I think, well, yeah, research is good, but if it's just really going to tell you what is already known, what is already in the public domain and has been for years, I don't see the point.
We're all slowly dying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the truth of the fact. Yeah.
And the overdevelopment is going to worsen our health.
But they never stood with us.
Longer waiting lists at GPs. I mean, you don't need research, surely, to tell somebody with half a brain.
A blind man can see what's happening locally.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't see why they need Southall Community Alliance to be telling us any differ, which I'm sure they will.
Yeah.
I'm 100% sure that overnight everything is hunky-dory.
Yeah.
And I've always said this. A lot of these people don't even live in Southall. Okay. They come from out of Southall. So there's people involved in this. All they're interested in is money and nothing else.
Yeah.
So instead of speaking to the people who actually live here, yeah, who are living it, should I say, they probably want him in contact. And they'll contact people who are in their listed groups. Yeah. So the yes vote, basically.
Yeah. And a big issue, really, which there's maybe obviously potential for conflict of interest. Let's just say there's a research into urban regeneration and, you know, the impact on health. Well, there is representation very closely aligned with one of the big property developers. And surely that is going to have an influence on the objectiveness of any research that involves, say, research into housing. Angela, do you see what I'm saying? But, you know, they don't distance themselves from Berkeley Group. Yeah, they are on the, so just one second, Arjun, on the community engagement steering group. Yeah, making decisions about who to award funding to, including themselves. So this community chest, I bet in the end, most of it, if not all of it, is going to SCA. They can award themselves. They're on the, you know, the not governing body, but they're on the group and they make decisions. So, you know, it'd be fascinating to know whether they were part of the decision to award themselves funding from Berkeley Group. So, quite how,
of course, there must be.
Yeah.
There must be. Yeah. There must be, 100%. 100%. they're paying them. They're basically paying themselves.
Yeah.
What a lovely position to be in, eh?
Yeah.
That's what you got to
It
try
just
to
makes
look
them,
at.
it
What a
makes a
lovely-
mockery of, you know, community engagement. And as I said, you know,
Well,
if they're going to be participating or leading on research, I would have to question, you know, the ethics and hope, you know, that basically the university partners will stringently control that.
do you know who they are? Who the partners are?
Imperial College is one.
Yep.
And I can't remember the other, the London School of Tropical Medicine or something like that, but I don't know about sort of going back to what Ealing Council have publicised. Yeah. Arjun, I'm really sorry I interrupted you. Do you want to go ahead?
Don't forget to mention the Imperial College research update. You said, remember we spoke on the phone about you
Oh,
had an
yeah,
email.
yeah.
I thought I'd quickly remind you about that.
Yeah. Let me just find the email. Just bear with me for a second. I need to find the email.
Hopefully, fingers crossed
Right,
that
let's
it's something
have a
more
look.
positive.
Yeah. So this is from the researcher, and she said she's still working on all the samples that were collected, and she has completed preliminary results on the urine and dried blood spots. So she will continue analysing these in the new year, and the passive air samplers that the participants had in their gardens. So she will be in touch in 2024, she said, with hopefully some exciting results. But she would like feedback on the participants, from the participants on how we would like to see the results presented. So she's attached a form, and we can make some comments there. I mean, just off the top of my head, I think it would be useful to see a comparison of the data with their control group. Yeah. And I think that that's important. And if possible, as well as the control group, maybe a comparison with any data available from a population that lives near a polluting industry. So yeah, it's still a waiting game. But I will sort of share my thoughts with the people I know who have participated to see if they've got any ideas about how the results should be presented. But I think definitely to stick to the plan to hold a public meeting to share the data. And I think sort of as much visual representation, you know, whether it's sort of pie charts or other graphs, you know, that it's easily accessible. Because data can be very overwhelming, but it's got to be, I mean, I'm not saying dumb it down, but make sure it's accessible and that it encourages people, if need be, to ask questions. So that's what I would share with the researcher. Joe, did you receive the same email? Is he still on the call?
I think he's gone.
He's gone. Okay.
If he's that quiet, he's
I
gone.
received it, Angela.
Yeah, he's gone. Did you get it?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah. I mean, do you have any suggestions for the researcher on presenting the data?
It should be like between us, you know, whoever participant. It should be between us, you know, like
given to that I think that is definitely the plan, that individual results won't be shared, but will be because of confidentiality. But I think anonymized data would be interesting to see if there are any patterns, how it compares with the control data. And I think it should be done in a way that there is a presentation to the public, but I think also perhaps, if possible, to share the data in some sort of document that could be shared prior to a report appearing in whatever research journal that applies. So that's my those are my initial thoughts. But yeah, it was good to hear from her.
That's good. At least you guys are getting constant updates, and you're keeping actually being kept in the loop. I mean, I was going to take part, but I couldn't find the time really to, do all the samples. I'm don't have the space in my garden to do it because I have a shed garden, and so I can't really take part in a way. And my grandma has because she has tenants. She shares her garden as well. So that was a bit of a bugger in a way for me because we really wanted to take part, but just it got in the way.
Yeah, I'm just quite interested in research, and I've taken part in research.
I've got
Imperial College research at Charing Cross into type 2 diabetes. And I think, I don't have an issue as long as my personal data is anonymized. If it can help advance medicine, something, I'm in favor of.
Yeah, I've got family with type 2 diabetes. And if I knew about the research into that, I would have had a lot more. I would have had a lot more interest as well if I knew about that in advance. So
I think it's important, that researchers, they're not just sort of working in isolation, that they link with with participants, because we can share our own personal expertise of a particular disease,
yeah.
And obviously in the case of air pollution, we can share how, the data might say one thing, that it's all within safe limits, but we can actually share the impact it has on us. I mean, what was quite interesting, the fireworks for Diwali, there is an air quality monitor close to where I live, and the rating for it was PM 2.5 was a rating of 10 was high. That's the highest.
That's bad this time.
And I didn't know until somebody actually tipped me off from Breathe London. And that evening, when the fireworks were being let off, my chest started to burn and so did my throat, and I felt like I was wheezing.
It's not healthy for the people.
Yeah. These are the fireworks. I know, thankfully it's temporary.
And do you know with the fireworks and then the asphalt plants on top doesn't help the breathing situation?
Yeah, it was very bad. Sorry, Rashpal?
It should be monitored, it's not healthy for the public. And also the noise pollution, like especially the people with heart condition, or the animals, dogs, cats, it's bad for them. And it can accidentally set fire. And I have heard of the news. There were fires. I heard with the fireworks, And like especially the houses are built with the wood here, so it's
Mm.
not good. Like they were doing till late night,
Yeah.
and it's too much noise, too much, like it was all cloudy, like foggy. The
Oh no,
outside.
it's bad. Yeah. But I didn't
Yeah,
realize, I didn't, and then I didn't think, and because this person pointed out the high reading, and I thought, oh yeah. But I was indoors. It affected me indoors. I wasn't even outdoors.
yeah, I can
Yeah.
look outside the window, and it's smelling very bad. Even the smell came in from the fireworks, and there should be some laws. They should spend this money on some good causes. Like people, they shouldn't be waste money on the things. Like
Mm.
unnecessary. I think there should be rules about this
Yeah,
also.
there's got to be another way to celebrate. And I don't
Yeah.
know, the New Year's Eve fireworks on the South Bank. Are there fireworks? So I know one year, I think was it last year, a laser show. There wasn't
Mm.
actually, fireworks, but laser. And it still looked really good and effective. So yeah, there's definitely an alternative. And and I think people have to sort of remember, why a celebration is taking place,
People didn't used to like do this before.
Yeah,
Now, recent years, it is started. Like they're blowing horns. They are blowing like celebrating on the roads, and
They're
some
basically using the roads as like a firework display area. That's
and
that's
displaying
it.
all sorts of like
Rajpal are here and on it. They are using the road as a fireworks display area.
yeah, yeah,
that's very
they
dangerous.
It, that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing.
That's bad. They're it's not good for the public. Like for the animals, like birds. Uh, they should be thinking about long term. Like the planet Earth,
Exactly.
and the human, like our health and
I
mental
agree.
health. I don't really I fond of the noises. Myself. I don't like too much noise. If somebody, even my neighbors make it, I don't like it. I don't know why. I'm just like that. But some people,
Thing
if I
is,
hear, huh?
yeah, when it's late at night, Rashma, because you work shift, don't you? It's not fair to people who need to get up early in the morning to go to work, and it's just
Yeah,
disrespectful. I think it's what happens. People become selfish. They just think about themselves, me, myself, and I, and I don't think about what my neighbour might need to go to bed early because they have to be up at maybe 4 o'clock in the morning to go to work. They're working at the airport. It's no regard, you know. And we
That's
could, I
my.
think
I got
the
that.
strength of our group, we talk about things as a community and we connect and we're thinking about each other. Yeah.
yeah.
And nobody in this group is thinking, well, I'm just thinking about my needs. I don't care about anybody else. They don't matter. And
That's
this
why.
is why I would love to see in 2024 this forum growing. I need to do more work actually on trying to
Yeah,
promote it.
I hope
Yeah,
this
and
one.
probably to have maybe some face-to-face meetings as well. Because we've said it time and time again, Southall has a lot of disadvantage, and not everybody has access to the internet. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's finding somewhere where we
I don't
can
know how to
maybe
arrange
once
this.
every 3 months, we can try and have a face-to-face.
Like what Sharma does every.
We
Yeah,
can try.
yeah. What do you think, Rashbel?
Yeah, we can try. Like I don't know
Mm,
how to engage people. We need to engage people. Lot, and they should help. Like with the how it can be, put right. Things can be put right. Everybody got to participate. Who's like in favor of the planet and in favor of the like this? They are ruining the our country, and the people should like speak up or get together, or they can raise their voices,
Yeah,
and
absolutely. Because if
so
it, you know,
it's
if we didn't care, we wouldn't be meeting. You know,
yeah,
we
but
would not be
Mm.
connecting. We would not be, you know, basically we really do the work of councillors. We inform each other about what's happening. Arjan, I wouldn't have known about the development. Where was it? Sorry,
Austerley
I'm
home
losing
base.
my mind. Austerley. If it wasn't, I mean, I'd heard about it, but I didn't know it'd been granted planning permission. So, you know, we are kind of like the eyes and ears, and we look out for them, and we share information that we feel that is of benefit to
It's
someone
coming
else.
from the Hounslow Herald, though, but that information. But I don't really trust the Hounslow Herald for information.
Yeah. Well, I knew about because I went to Tesco. Can't remember when it was, whether it was last year or the year before, and Berkeley Group were there handing out promotional glossy leaflets about their proposal. So yeah, it's not
you're
good.
doing
You
good
know,
job,
they're
Angela.
here, there, and everywhere. And I dread to think what that junction is going to be like with construction work going ahead. Because I used to go that way when I worked in Brentford, and it's, you know, that Gillette corner on the A4 is very busy. So God knows.
But Angela, I don't.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
they're all talk and they're all this bravado. They don't. They're too scared of us. They won't do anything to that Tesco. Trust me, because that Tesco is well used. So if they
What I
dare,
heard originally, Tesco was going to move to home base. So I mean, you know, I don't know if that's
well,
still
to
the
be honest,
case, but that
well,
was the
well,
original plan.
well, to be honest, the home base is practically useless there. But no, I don't think
I
it
don't
should.
know. I got my lawnmower last year from there, and that was handy on the way home.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
also our
Because I
own
mean,
opinion, but
DIY shops, you have to travel, don't you? I'm just trying to think. Otherwise, it's a case of going to B&Q in Yedding. You know?
imagine trying
Yeah.
to lug a lawnmower on a bus on the
Shall I say
E6.
again?
Imagine you buy a lawnmower and then you have to take it on a bus with you.
Yeah,
It's just
no, not good. But this is why, you know, people are going for home deliveries. But now Joe's back on the call. Joe, did you hear what I said about the response from the researcher updating us on her testing of the blood and urine samples? So she's got preliminary results, and she just will continue to analyze those in the new year, along with the samplers we had in our gardens. But she wants to know, you know, any ideas that we may have for presenting the data. I don't know if you heard me talk about that. Hello, Joe.
See, the problem I have with the internet is behind Berkeley Group's green quarter, that's where they've actually put the aerials for the telephone company and also, I believe, the internet. So that's why, and in front of it, they built those high rises. So that's what the difficulty I've always had now. You know, I've started getting this problem. Now,
yeah, my signal's not good either in Southall.
the simple. No, because the old signal used to be on top of the gas tower. That was the highest building around this area, which they knocked down. That's good. I mean, Angela, it all depends on how many people they think are going to turn up
to the meeting.
Yeah, and it would be, and I think it's time now that we do not rent, we demand to use the manor house.
Yeah, because what I don't get, you've got these buildings, Manor House and Southall Town Hall. Southall Town Hall seems to be off limits to the public, unless you are visiting in connection with SCA. But who is paying for that building? Who's paying, you know, for the running of that building? Surely it's the taxpayer. But
Maybe
you're right. The same about
We
Manor
do-
House. It's shut. It's closed. It's hardly used. I think the only time it's used is, there's a council meeting. When they had the meeting about the draft local plan. But other than that, I don't think it's used. It's been used. How much is it costing to keep it closed? Insurance and security, and I don't know. Maybe they need to have sort of background heating. But yeah, why is it not open to the
I
public?
think now is the right time. We
Yeah,
do
yeah.
an FOI. We do an FOI about Southall Town Hall, and we also find out the facts about the Manor House.
Yeah. I agree, but we need sort of civic space where we can meet and build and continue to sort of build our community strength. Because the councillors don't meet with us. I look at Hayes, there seems to be so much more going on in Hayes. There's a town partnership between the local businesses, but they also communicate with stakeholders like the public. I get an email, I think it's probably every couple of weeks from the borough, I don't know, manager's not the right word, chair, sorry, he's the chair of the Hayes Town Partnership. And you get to find out so much about what is going on in Hayes, meetings to the police, the local mosque being open, coffee mornings,
How
the
does the council do
redevelopment.
that? How does the council do that?
Really?
Yeah, they keep their residents in the loop.
Yeah.
We don't even get our Around Ealing magazine through the post fortnightly
Do you
anymore.
not?
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't get that. And
Oh yeah.
and
Yeah, I still get that.
how's the council send theirs monthly or twice a
But
month?
there should be kind of like specifically a forum that's on, that is about sort of promoting Southall. I mean, Joe, this is kind of like your manner. Why isn't there a forum representing business interests? Given that, Southall has for many years attracted people from outside the area, because of the culture, the shopping, the restaurants. Is there a business forum?
If there is, I haven't heard about it.
Yeah. But this
It's sad.
Hayes Town
sad.
Partnership, they communicate with the public. And it's very interesting to get the newsletter to find out what's happening in Hayes. So, we are just so let down really badly. And I would go as far as to say it is neglectful. Yeah.
I've got a few questions I want to ask you guys. It's about transport because I'm quite interested to see what I can do as a campaigner and to take things a bit forward. I just want general views on whoever uses out of the four of us here, who uses just a general public transport generally in their day-to-day life around Southall. And because then what I am going to do, because I've actually planned to go to Abellio London Southall bus garage tomorrow. I'm actually going to take these points and actually ask for a meeting with the manager there, and I can hopefully put all these points down because I think this is the only way we can get our voices heard. So I just want general, basically general what your thoughts on and what your experiences are basically. Anybody?
Yeah, I think the worst thing was to reroute the 427.
Okay.
Because that served a very busy route from Uxbridge all the way through to Acton. Yeah. And I'm finding that whenever I travel, for instance, to Shepherd's Bush, that there is quite a long wait at the bus stop near the police station, and the buses are very congested. So whoever thought, it was a good idea to reroute that from Uxbridge to Merrick Road? I think it's just ridiculous.
I think personally that was Transport for London's idea. That has nothing to do with that's nothing to do with the bus operating company. I can put what I can try and do is I can try and put it down as a suggestion to reconsider cutting, at least putting the 427 back and extending the H32 or the 482 down there instead. That could be a
I just
consideration.
think, given that the Uxbridge Road is a major route through West London, it's like it's an arterial route. To remove a service is just, it's making it more challenging. And the 195, maybe that needs to be also a more frequent service. Well, the 105 as well.
That's just.
So I'm just listening to my daughter. She's got feedback for you on the 105. She's saying the 105 is not frequent enough. The 195, because it's a single decker, is very overcrowded at times. And, it's difficult, especially for the elderly, to find a seat. And it seems to be busy, not just during the rush hour, but really all times of the day.
I can explain why they cut the frequency back on the 105. Because in Greenford they're doing the HS2 works, so they've got a temporary timetable in place in operation because of the HS2 works. So that I think it's due to expire in about I think it was April next year.
But
I think.
Let me just ask a bit more. Is it just
year.
when you use it on a Saturday morning, or just generally?
195, not frequent enough.
It's just because from Telford Road is the only bus coming, so why do I have to wait 15 minutes for one bus?
She's saying from Telford Road.
Yeah,
it's the only bus route. And she has to wait 15 minutes.
It's a temporary timetable where they arrange to have a bus every 13 to 15 minutes, Monday to Saturday, because of the HS2 works in Greenford. So I can put that forward.
Yeah.
Anyone use the H32 here?
Yeah, H32. Infrequent. My daughter's saying, because she uses public transport more than I do. She said it's become infrequent.
Infrequent, I agree. Yeah, and just only that of half an hour wait. Do you believe that?
Sorry, say again. Half an hour.
Half an hour, yeah.
You've waited half an hour
in Hounslow for a H32 back?
That's ridiculous.
And the 120 doesn't have either. The 120s are useless. And that's.
I think the 120s had a bad reputation for years. Because I used to work with somebody who used to travel on the 120 to work.
Yeah.
And this is years ago, and it was a dreadful service. They used to complain about it all the time.
It's too crowded all the time from Southall to Hounslow. Whenever you go on this one. Mainly in the evening and morning, I think, is like that. And also the Uxbridge Road is very bad. There's a lot of people on the buses,
Yeah, I got that.
Okay. And something needs to be done about, courtesy to disabled passengers. Because what I've noticed, this happened on King Street. And this was a Saturday, and I was going to Hounslow with my kids.
Yeah.
It was an absolute nightmare. I'll tell you what happened. 120 turned up, packed, couldn't get on it. The next 120, we couldn't get on that either. But there was an elderly lady waiting. She was in a mobility scooter. So on a mobility scooter.
Yeah.
And somebody pushed past with a pram. And I just said, "Excuse me, Auntie's been waiting before you." And I made sure I went onto the bus when the ramp came down, made sure she got on safely and can go in the area designated for wheelchair users. But I just feel, we need to think more about how we treat disabled passengers, because even, I've travelled, this is from college, and, you've got people with their pushchairs. And priority should be given to somebody in a wheelchair, but they're, not very keen to fold up their pushchair. But it makes it difficult. And another time I was traveling with the same young man I was telling you about.
Yeah.
And this was on Lady Margaret Road.
Yeah.
And the bus driver pulled up by a tree.
Yeah, I remember that.
He couldn't operate the ramp by a tree. So he said, "Oh, do you mind if you get off the other side on South Road?" I mean, it was okay, but not ideal, what if you really wanted to get off at that bus stop? Yeah, so I think more needs to be done to make traveling.
I think it's just, this is what I mean. I want to try and get managers of garages on side. I've got bus drivers on side. I've got a couple of friends who are willing to help me get the contact for bus drive. I've got some bus driver friends basically who are willing to help me get the contacts, only if I can help make the difference. Because my friend, he's on a 482. He does the early shift that's from 3 till 11 in the morning. So he's like a super early sort of guy, and he says the H32s are leaving like 10, 15, like 3 minutes after him, and that's nearly behind him. And so he actually had to do one thing where he actually had to pretend the bus was broken down just for H32 to go past. He had to go to that extreme length and carry on.
Yeah, because another thing that makes me fed up, the number of times I've got on a bus and it's terminated before the destination, the controller comes on the radio and tells the driver to terminate the bus,
Yeah.
And that is very frustrating. And it's frustrating, particularly
my sister,
for young people. Because I trust my kids to go out and about, but I wouldn't want them to travel in the evening time because of this risk.
My sister uses the H32.
Terminating.
My sister uses the H32 all the time, and she witnesses that.
Yeah.
I've had aggressive drivers come up to say to me, "Oh, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?" That and like intimidating me and all that.
Seeing as you're going to the bus garage tomorrow, I would suggest extend an invitation to them to come along to our forum. We hold it monthly.
Yeah.
And just say, public transport is a topic that arises every month. We've got lots of concerns about buses and the Elizabeth line and so on. Could you come along and talk to us?
And I'll see if my friend who's on the 482, if he can come as well.
That'd be good. Somebody's willing to answer questions about the frequency of the service and why.
Because he has knowledge of the 482 and the H32 as well, and he's witnessed what I'm telling you. But on a daily basis, because he's been doing it for 15, 20 years.
But we'll put it to him, and if he doesn't want to do it, maybe speak to his manager. Rashpal, what did you want to say?
Yeah, sometimes they don't even stop for the wheelchairs. I witnessed myself a few times in Ealing, the town hall bus stop. They left the people, the bus was full. They didn't let them get up on the bus. And it's so often, whenever I go, I don't know, it's very crowded, that bus to Uxbridge Road. And also this 120 is crowded also sometime.
I used to
I
hate it when my mum got the 120 rash pal from Norfolk to Southall. It was the
yeah.
best part of 2 hours for her to travel from where she lived at the time to my home. I used to pick her up from the Dominion Centre because
Also,
yeah, it was a bit of a walk
al-
from there to where I live. But yeah, she needed to allow about 2 hours travel time.
also the underground, is whenever I visited, beginning of the year, I don't go often, and it was too crowded, too many. They said one was
Oh,
like the one train left, I don't know how many few train left. It was all full, and people. I was in stuck, couldn't get off on my stop, like
You couldn't
the
get off. What, at Southall?
no, at Hammersmith I had to go,
Oh,
and
Piccadilly
right.
line, or
I
the Piccadilly line, the that is I
was
don't know
too
what it is with
crowded.
the Piccadilly line. It's gone quite awful. If
Mm.
the Elizabeth line goes down, I have to use the Piccadilly line, and I so my university's on the Heathrow branch of the Piccadilly line, so I have to and at the moment I this is thanks to me and the amount of complaints I put in. They stopped the staircase. They started doing works on the staircases at South Ealing Station. That's basically where I have to get off. So I kind of technically got it at a wrong time in a way. But yeah, it's um
Yeah.
trains are
Whenever
Yeah.
I go,
yeah.
it's too busy, like so many people, like the driver couldn't just close the doors, they're like running and running, getting on and off, like it's very dangerous and people just touching each other, and it's not
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I don't like people coming near to me too much,
Hmm.
and it was awful, I don't go that often now.
Yeah.
Because of that.
You've got no personal space.
And
Yeah,
And then there's always the risk of in that situation,
so there's
there's a greater risk of
we're
sexual assaults taking place,
hopefully
just where I heard in the saw in the newspaper news and heard many incidents happening on the buses and on the trains, like
Yeah, yeah.
this I don't know, so many things are going on around, and should be, I don't know, dealt, but these leaders are not doing much for us,
No.
and
even public
they
transport
are
leaders
doing
aren't
good
doing much.
job.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
another thing
I,
I want to complain about, and
yeah.
obviously not for the bus garage, but if we can get somebody on from TfL, I get fed up seeing bicycles chained to the handrails outside of Southall railway station. It looks unsightly, but more than that, it actually impedes elderly people who need to grab a handrail to steady themselves ascending the stairs or descending. They can't do it because you've got all these bikes chained up. Where's the
They,
bike parking?
they're not conscious of others, like these people. I don't like too much disturbance, like I am that kind of person. I don't make too much noise, or I
Mm,
don't, like disturb others, too much.
The rush part. We need to make the noise. If we need to make a change, we need to make the noise, and we need.
Yeah, yeah, I know
Yeah,
we are
but
making
you need,
like
yeah, but we need.
decent.
Yeah, but it's okay. It's fine that you don't like to make the noise, but we have to for these people to hear that what we're saying is true.
Yeah, I know I can speak about it, the issues, but like people are misbehaving, like we are raising our voices, we are like these private people, they are taking our land and they are building on it, doing so the wrong stuff on it. So
Yeah,
we are just raising our voice, and it's not
yeah,
nothing, not much
but
done.
don't stop. They can start building, but we won't stop.
definitely. Will you
Yeah.
let us know at the next meeting how you get on talking to the manager at the bus garage and whether he responds to your invitation to come along to, you know, our next forum, if not the next forum, but any forum that's convenient, you know, which we do on a monthly basis.
Oh,
I am
I've got-
conscious of the time.
okay, but
Is
that's
there
it.
anything else that we need to discuss tonight?
Arjun,
That's it, really.
Ar-
Yes, let's go.
Arjun,
Andy Joe.
which bus garage, young man, are you going to?
Southall.
Southall.
Do you know there's a bus? Do you know the home bargains then where the Iron Bridge is?
Yeah.
You go around
Yes.
the over the there's like a little roundabout. You go
Yes, Windmill Lane.
the Windmill Lane. You got all those shops there, like the home bargains.
Yeah, Selco and all that.
Yeah, it's down there,
Oh, right at the back,
right at the back.
behind Noons.
Yeah,
Behind Noons.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, I've got a question. I've got a question for you.
Yes.
Two questions actually.
Go on.
When Arjun, when the traffic's very bad, and
Mhm.
I've got to get to Ealing or something like that, then I do jump on a bus because they can use the bus lane. Yeah?
Yeah.
Now, can you ask them when they park the buses up at night, why do they leave the doors open?
Yeah.
Is it because they like the rats to come in and urinate everywhere?
Yeah.
Because I couldn't work out why the buses, the doors are left open. I witnessed this in Greenford Depot.
Yeah.
And the other thing, like Angela said, what happened to the journey that I was on? I
Yep.
got on at Ealing Broadway.
Yep.
The driver came to Ealing Hospital.
Mhm.
And he said, the bus is going no further.
Yep.
So we got off. Now, he said to everybody, jump on the bus that's coming behind us, okay?
Mhm.
So I jumped on the bus and I said, I've just come off that bus and I've already paid on my Oyster card, yeah?
Yep.
He goes, I'm sorry, that's a different bus. That's a different bus company. So we waited 10, 15 minutes and another bus came on.
Mhm.
And I said the same thing to the bus driver. I said, we have just come off that bus. He says, no problem. You have an hour or something like that, he said, if I heard him right, that you can jump off one bus onto another bus.
Yeah. That's correct. Yeah.
So why are these bus drivers fooling us with the wrong information?
Mm.
Or is it because they don't actually know the procedure and the rules?
I think it's
And that's why we're getting misled.
I think it's they don't know the procedures. Personally, they
Now,
don't know the procedures.
the third thing I found
Mhm.
after speaking to some nice bus drivers,
Mhm.
I've had a few journeys, November and December so far.
Yeah.
The other thing that came across was that a lot of these drivers come from a job agency. Now, I don't know if you know, Arjun,
Yeah.
but when you call staff in from an agency, it's more expensive
Yeah.
than employing somebody from, say, the job center
Mhm.
or somebody who's got a PSV, I think it's called the license.
PCV. Yeah.
PCV,
PCV. It's a passenger carrying vehicle license.
passenger carriage vehicle.
Yeah.
Right. So it just goes to show that something's not right. We already know how these companies are operating. Yeah.
Yeah.
These contracts are given out by the Mayor of London or TfL,
Yeah.
but the service they're providing to the Southall people, they could the same service. They couldn't get away with this in an English area. No way will they get away with this in an English area. They're getting
Joe,
away
you're
with
right.
murder.
It is terrible. It is absolutely diabolical. You know,
They're
I went
getting
to
away with murder.
Hounslow. Hounslow's like what, 4 miles
Yep.
tops? Yeah.
Yep.
First 120 couldn't get on, second 120 couldn't get on. It was the third 120. The third 120 terminated at St. Leonard's Church in Heston. And then we had to wait and get the 111. It took about 2 hours that day to get to Hounslow.
That's shocking.
It was ridiculous.
That's taking me longer, Angela. It's taken me about double the amount that I just didn't bother.
Yeah, terrible. You're absolutely right, Joe.
And then you get out of Southall. This is a joke. You get out of Southall, and the bus stops at the Iron Bridge.
Yeah.
And the speaker comes on the
We're
tannoy.
going to regulate
Oh,
here, the driver change.
There's a change of driver, and
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
no driver, and there's
No driver.
no driver.
I've seen that happen. I can relate to that.
Well, how long did you have to wait for the driver to turn up?
About 20 minutes.
What?
195.
Yeah, we were just sitting
Joe,
there.
were you- what bus
It's
were you?
every
God.
Joe,
We
what
were
bus?
sitting there laughing. We were
Joe,
just
what
sitting there laughing. Sorry?
What bus was this by chance, Joe?
207.
207.
You could have nipped into
It's-
McDonald's, had your lunch, and then gone back and got the
After
bus.
Palestine, no, after Palestine, I don't give McDonald's any money. Any company that is linked, any
Right.
company that, yeah, I avoid. I've started avoiding. A
Respect
dear
to
friend
you,
of mine,
Joe. Yeah.
he sent me a list. He sent me a list, you know.
Yeah, respect to
because
you for yeah.
someone's got to help. Someone's got to help.
Yeah,
Those poor
yeah,
souls.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
the people in power are not helping anybody, apart from helping themselves.
So,
But Joe,
know?
what do you think you can do, going back to that very quickly, to get more of the Sikh community to support? Because you said not
Well,
many, but they're in
well,
numbers.
well, I will just say, call me what you like. Let's look at the local politics in Southall or London Borough of Ealing, yeah? Who's the leader of Ealing? Who's the leader of Ealing Council?
Peter Mason.
Who's the chief executive?
Oh, can't remember his name.
What's their
Forgotten.
backgrounds?
Mm.
You get it? I'm
Yeah,
giving you a hint.
right.
I'm
Right,
giving
right.
you a hint. We don't have to say it out loud. I'm just giving you a hint.
Yeah, yeah.
So when you want favors, yeah, when you want favors, do you remember when the secretary of Sri Guru Nanak Temple came to our meeting under COVID? And he actually hid the fact that he was the general secretary. Do you remember
Oh,
the
the
meeting
one
that
who was interested in environmental matters, and
Thank you.
a
Thank
few
you.
of them
But
turned
then
up. Yeah. We've
when I
never
made
seen him.
mine-
We've never seen him again.
when the meeting, as the meeting was going ahead,
Mm,
I made my telephone call to my connection,
mm.
and they told me that they're actually applying for flats. Do you remember that conversation?
Oh, yes, 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 yes. Yeah.
So if our leaders are walking us blind, or I can use the strong word, are actually lying to us. Yeah. And remember, Angela, we've got this on film. Yeah.
Mm.
So what chance have we got of having politicians who are going to tell us the truth locally?
Mm.
If the so-called preachers of God are lying to us
Mm.
in broad daylight, what chance have we got of
Disheartening.
having democracy which is truthful,
Mm.
integrity,
It should be separate to religion, surely.
trustworthy, and
Mm.
sincere to
Mm.
the local residents?
Mm.
That was proof, wasn't it, Angela?
Oh, yeah, I didn't know. I thought it was a genuine interest in environmental matters and our campaigning work on the air quality and air pollution from the gasworks. Didn't know the backdrop that you found out, you know, that they're greedy too, you know, they want to build by the rail
Flats.
line.
Yes. So they will not stand for Palestine because Peter Mason is not standing for Palestine. The councillors are not standing for Palestine.
Yeah.
Do you see which way this is going now?
Yes. Yeah.
Please,
But then,
the
Joe,
leader.
where is the humanity?
It doesn't exist, as far as I'm concerned, with them. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm a farmer's son. Yes, my ancestry are farmers. Yeah. Now, I'm a Sikh, but what I see these people doing is unjust.
Yeah, for sure.
This has got nothing to do with religion. My God doesn't say tell lies. My God doesn't say tell porky pies. My God doesn't say suck up to the people that you want to use for your own personal benefit.
That's right. Yeah.
Does my Guru Nanak say that he needs flats? I mean, Arjun is a Sikh. Yeah. Rashpal is a Sikh. Does it say anyway? By the way, Angela, I didn't know this. I only found out last year. Okay. My clan is called Bangu. Yes.
Yeah.
In Punjabi, it's called Pangu. Okay.
Right.
Right. I didn't know, and I've never been told this. I had to phone India to double check the information that was given to me. It was actually the Granth Sahib was written by a Bangu.
Wow.
Can you believe that? And all
That's
these
profound.
years,
Yeah.
yes, and all these years, I never knew, okay, that it was our clan who actually wrote the Granth Sahib. So who are these people trying to dictate to us? Now, if you remember, his name is Mr. Harmeet Singh Gill, the general secretary of Singh Sahaba Gurdwara, the temple.
Yeah.
But when he came to our meeting, he uses the name Harmeet Gill.
Right.
So I was speaking to some devoted people in the temple. Why does this guy not use the word Singh in his name? My name is Jaginder Singh Bangu.
Yeah.
Okay. So I said, why does he go around saying my name is Harmeet Gill? When I write my name down, Angela, I write my name Jaginder Singh Bangu.
Yeah.
Sure, I write J.S. Bangu.
Yeah.
So why is this person, is he ashamed of using the name Singh? When he came to our meeting, he said, my name is Harmeet Gill, if you remember. And you can double check it. I have an early memory, Angela.
Yeah.
So if we think they're going to do something good for us, we're fooling ourselves. As one sergeant in Southall many years ago in a meeting said to me, Mr. Bangu, why is all this fighting in the temple? And I said, you know why we have fights in the temple? He said, it's not regarding the millions of pounds
right.
that are donated. I couldn't stop laughing. He answered his own blooming question, right?
So all this money corrupts then, doesn't it?
Of course it does. Everybody wants to be a leader. They call it seva. In my language, you say seva. Yeah?
Right.
The British have a lovely saying, charity begins at home. Yeah. So I've always said, and I was having a chat last week with somebody, an elderly gentleman, and I said, godliness, yes, godliness is our parents. Our parents gave us birth. The mother gives you birth, yeah, the father goes out to work to clothe you. That's our God. Our mother and father are our God. If you think God is sitting somewhere else, I said, you're very much mistaken. But people don't understand where I'm coming from, you see. People don't understand what I'm trying to tell them.
Oh,
It was
Well, what you're
other
trying to tell
inquiry.
them is about how you live your life and how you treat others.
Of course, be humane
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
Religion's got nothing to do with it. You have to be
Yeah.
humane. If you can
Yeah,
respect
for sure.
yeah. And do you know?
another living soul, yeah, and you come and if you remember the question that I asked all three of them, yeah, that's the two Sikh guys and the girl, I can't remember her name, Jazz or somebody. And the question I asked them is that, why are you interested in us? Oh, because you're very well known in the council.
But we never heard
Yeah.
from them again. That was it.
No,
They
because
ran
we
a
caught them
mile.
out.
Yeah.
We caught them out.
Yeah.
Now, if the community finds out that the leader or the so-called secretary of the temple is a liar, yeah, and we've got him on film, okay, what does that say about him?
Yeah, yeah.
So why would they help the rally for Palestine? Because
Very
they want
sad.
planning.
Very, very, very
They
sad.
don't want to get on the wrong. They don't want to get on the wrong foot with the council. That's what all this game is all about.
Hmm. But what
The
you're saying
council
they
is
would do if hypothetically the leader of the council stood with you and said, I want a ceasefire in
they would all
Gaza.
be on board.
Yeah.
They would all be on board. Even
Yeah.
Mr. Sharma would be on board.
Yeah.
And that's how the system works.
I want to say something else about Sharma. And Joe, this has got to do with you, right? Do you know the last meeting that we had in Hanwell? That Sharma held in Hanwell.
Yes,
Uh,
yes, yes.
Yeah. He actually pulled me to one side and he said, "Do you know that Joe Bangu and that Happy? Don't listen to them. Don't listen to them. And just be nice to him." I was like, "Yeah, why not?" But then I just started laughing after that when he went away.
Yeah.
And I thought, who the hell is he to say something about a well-respected gentleman when he doesn't even give two hoots? That's not what's the
I
word?
had a word with Happy. Arjun, I had a word with Happy about this today. He was very upset.
Hmm.
And I was on the telephone. with him.
I was too scared to tell him because I knew he'd get upset. I was too scared to tell him,
He was upset. He was
And
very, very,
And
very upset.
I told him I apologized to him personally because I said to him I don't want to tell you this, but it's been on my mind.
You're a gentleman. You're a gentleman and a scholar. Well done.
And I didn't, but me and Happy, all three of us get along together, right? And I didn't want to hurt Happy's feelings, but I apologized and I said it's been on my mind quite a lot for 2 months, 3 months now, whenever the meeting was.
Yeah. But it's very good that you can make a decision for yourself, that
Education.
Joe, Happy, and you made up your own mind about their integrity and whether they are good people or not. And for him, as I say, somebody taught me a long time ago, a student, and Mr. Sharma's pointing the finger at them, but there are three fingers pointing back at him. Yeah. So it says
This is
more about his character than it will ever say about Happy and Joe.
Yeah.
Arjun, what happens in the Asian community? Yeah. In the Asian community, you get strong individuals. Okay. Happy is a very strong individual.
He's really passionate. He's passionate about.
I'm a very strong individual.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They send people around to my house with dropping off cards, so I would sell my house. Okay.
Yeah.
And I phoned the company up and I told them, look, the house is not for sale, because I clicked what's going on. Yeah.
Yeah.
I said, tell them the house is not for sale and I'm not for sale. Okay. Then before the last election, the council election.
Yeah.
My younger brother got a phone call. okay,
Yeah.
from Mr. Sharma's very good friend. His name is Mr. Sharma as well. Okay. His son, Angela, phoned my brother. Okay.
Right.
And said that, can you please ask your brother to join us? Okay. Now, my brother told them where to go with the F word. Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Because my brother knows he can't phone me and say to me, Joe, join these dirty people. I will not join these dirty people. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Because at the end of the day, when these people, the behavior of these people, okay, they're not good people. And now they are caught out. This, look, they're snookered basically. For the simple fact is, Arjun, to answer your question, you've heard of Chinese whispers, okay?
Yeah.
The Asians, this is how they get to you. They go around telling people whispers, okay? Now, I've been told a bigger story, Angela. What I've been told, they've got people set up in the wards in Southall, okay? And those people are in charge of getting the votes for the local candidates. And Mr. Sharma pays them.
Oh, right.
So he's got agents working within our town. Okay. Now, yes. So when that meeting finished, Arjun, I met him at the door, okay? Because obviously he needs me to leave the hall so he can slander me. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
Arjun, are you still
Yeah.
there?
Yeah. I'm still here.
So at the door was a gentleman, yeah, standing next to Mr. Sharma, and there was the councillor, Jasbir Anand. So Mr. Sharma, out of nowhere, says to me, yeah, oh, Mr. Bangu, you know, people will be asking questions, yeah. So I turned around to Mr. Sharma, yeah, and I said, Mr. Sharma, I'm married and I have a very pretty wife, okay? You want to see the laughter that came out of Councillor Anand, all right? And the laughter that came out of the gentleman who was standing next to Mr. Sharma. Angela, in India, what happens, okay? And this is now happening in our area in England, okay? Or America, or Canada, Australia, okay? Angela, you're going to marry your daughter to somebody, okay? Or let's put it on me. I'm going to marry my daughter to somebody, okay, Angela?
Yeah.
Right. In this country, I believe, yeah, that the children grow up to become adults, okay?
Yeah.
And they marry who they're happy with.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Then, because I've just married my oldest daughter, okay?
Yeah.
Now,
Oh, lovely.
then you meet the family, the boys' side, yeah? Okay, then everybody's happy, okay? And then you become one family. Makes sense? Right. So what some people who are daft and naive, yeah, I will say, Angela, what they do is, me being the father, I would go knocking on the neighbor's door or send one of my relatives, yeah, to knock on the doors and ask the family, what sort of boy is this? What sort of family are they? Do you
Yeah.
understand?
Yeah. Doing your research. Yeah.
Right. Well, normally what happens in the Asian community, yeah, they say he's a very bad boy. Yeah.
Oh, God.
He's a gambler. He's an alcoholic. Yeah. He takes drugs. But my boy is very nice. You understand?
Oh, right. Okay.
Yes. So as I was telling this story to somebody a couple of weeks ago, he turned around and said it happened to my father's brother, my uncle, his son. He goes, they came knocking on the door to the neighbors, and the neighbors said, that boy's a very bad boy. How did you get involved with this family?
Oh,
Yeah.
God. Yeah.
They go, marry my son. He studies, he does this, he does that. Yeah.
All right.
Well, their son was an actual alcoholic.
Right. Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh.
So the girl's family are crying ever since. All right.
Oh, no.
So when I said to Mr. Sharma, I'm happily married, thank you very much. that was saying to him, yeah, that talk much nonsense you want, it doesn't affect me. I
Yeah.
will take the stand.
People know the
in front of you.
truth. Yeah, yeah.
I will speak to you. I will ask you the questions. There's nothing that you can do about it. Okay. I don't fear.
Yeah.
Okay. Your
Yeah.
words. But I
Yeah.
said the slandering, that you've got going, you must stop this.
Okay.
Okay. So I know one of his agents who goes around slagging me off. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And he's been caught because, like Mr. Sandhu, Arjun's surname is Sandhu. Okay.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Arjun's had the guts to come forward and say that this is the words that he was
What
using.
happened? Yeah.
Arjun, this is what you call dirty politics.
Yep.
Arjun, this is what you call propaganda.
Yep.
If there's a man who has an issue, it's no good going to the barber and complaining.
Yep.
Okay? I have to come to you, Arjun. I mustn't go to your neighbor. I mustn't go to speak to your father. I must come and speak to you. If I have an issue with you, yeah, I must speak to you. Mr. Sharma is our MP, for goodness sake. If we can't question him,
Exactly.
then
He's in the wrong job. He's in the wrong job then.
Well, the English people have a lovely saying: if the heat gets too much in the kitchen, get the hell out of there, old man.
Very true. Very true. Did you see the video that he made? You know, after all the backlash, when he abstained, and people commented on Twitter, he made a video with Peter Mason walking around, pointing out all the fly tips. Did you see it?
The common.
Yeah,
the common.
Yeah, the common.
Is that the best he could do? Hey? Is that the best he could do? Angela,
he's showing us his new job post politics.
Angela, there was an officer in Southall, yeah? Those black bags, okay, were picked up on the green in Southall.
Oh, yeah.
Round about Roxy, you know where the Roxy restaurant is, around that sort of area.
Yeah, no, Roxy's, yeah.
And they found letters of Mr. Sharma in the bags.
What?
Yes. They found Mr. Sharma's letters in there.
Really?
This officer, yes. This officer wrote out a ticket, all right, for Mr. Sharma.
For real?
Yeah, this 100%. It's a true story what I'm telling you.
Oh my gosh.
And he kept saying to me that every single time I go to the office, I keep asking, yeah, what's happened with that ticket? What's happened with that ticket? Well, that ticket just disappeared into thin air. Okay? So it's okay for him. It's okay for him to throw rubbish about, yeah? And then he tries to tell us.
Hypocrite then. Big hypocrite. Yeah.
I've been saying that in the WhatsApp group. Have you, like, when we've been messaging? He is the most hypocritical person you ever meet.
Yep.
Yeah.
Arjun, in life, you're a young man, okay? You got hopefully you got a lot of years ahead of you, okay?
Hope so.
Remember one word from me, please, okay? This is how I live my life, yeah?
Yes.
If we're at a party, okay, and you leave the table to go to the bathroom, okay?
Yeah.
Or to go to the bar, yeah? This is a principle that I live by. I'm trying to give you my experience, okay?
Yeah.
Somebody says something behind your back, yeah? This is the word that I use, okay? I said, hang on a minute. Let Mr. Sandhu come back and we can have a chat here in front of him. That's how I live my life.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Face to face. Confront the person. Yeah.
You end up with less friends, but you end up with very loyal friends. Remember my words, okay, son?
Yeah.
No.
Truthful and honest.
100%, Joe.
So
transparent.
100%.
But yeah, the thing is, Arjun, you've met Joe on many occasions, and you were wise not to fall for somebody slandering him. And happy too.
Mm-hmm.
I was on the phone with.
I'm shocked that he actually went down that road after a meeting.
Joe, I was stuck, right, on when I should say it. If that time was the right time,
Mm.
And I wasn't sure. I was completely clueless. When was the right time? When should I have done it? So I just said
Sure.
it. Because,
No, respect to you, respect to you.
but you know, he did say to me that he's okay with me. He called me. We spoke this morning. I'm gonna call him tomorrow now, just to see how he's getting on and see if he's okay. But you know,
I
Who, Mr.
spent an hour
Sharma?
with him.
no, happy.
No,
Oh, happy. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Arjun, I spent 1 hour with him this morning, okay?
Yeah.
Explaining to him the way the system runs, okay?
Yeah.
And he was very happy after that, because this is how these fools play. This is how these fools
Yeah.
have been fooling us for the last 30, 40 years.
And
He's a
I've-
very,
why
very intelligent
guys-
man.
listen,
Very
you-
analytical.
You guys have 30,
Mm.
40 years. I've only been in this a year. I've still got a lot to, you know, start to learn and all that. So I'm just trying to. I've just started knowing all this stuff. So.
Arjun, these people have been fooling us for the last 40 odd years in Southall. We are the one group in Southall. Clean Air for Southall-on-Hayes is the honest, sincere group in Southall. Everybody else is after money.
Mm.
We don't want the money.
Mm.
What we want is
Yeah.
justice.
Southall is a gravy train, but
That's it, of course it is.
ultimately, it does not benefit the community who it's intended to benefit.
Thank you. Our fight is for a better future for our children, our grandchildren.
Yeah.
We're not here fly by night. These guys don't even live in Southall. The people who are actually destroying Southall don't actually live in Southall. I've heard now that a lot of councillors are moving into Dickens Yard. Now, I thought Dickens Yard was owned by Berkeley Group. Doesn't anybody else make flats?
But
You know, doesn't anybody else make flats?
yeah. Councillor Nan, she lives in Norwood Green, Joe.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, I know what you mean, you know.
But she's not there for the people. She's not there for the people. She's not
No.
standing by us.
No,
We're the
no,
voters of
no.
Southall. We vote.
No.
We're the
not
voters
at
in
all.
Southall. And I just hope that now, Angela, because of what's happened for her GLA seat,
Yeah.
I just hope it's awakening. And especially after the march on Saturday, I'm 100% sure all these councillors are going to lose their seats, including Mr. Sharma.
Who
My
was
heart-
Sharma? Who was
this is-
Sharma backing? Mahfouz or Anand?
No, he would back Anand, obviously.
Hmm.
He would back Anand. They go back many years.
Okay.
There's no look, if my brother is wrong, Angela,
Yeah.
I would stand up and say he's wrong. And
Yeah.
I would take your side. That's the kind of person
Yeah.
I am, okay?
Yeah.
I would not, because he's Asian and he's my blood. We
Yeah.
share the same DNA. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Angela, you're wrong. That's not justice.
Yeah.
The Sikh religion says we must live a just life, a truthful life.
Yes.
And you saw what the church leader did in our meeting. He all of them bluntly lied to us. We'd like to open a nursery. We'd like to open a community centre for the children in Park Avenue. Come on, that's how the conversation started.
No,
Yeah. Not for the people. Yeah.
But yet, behind our backs, they're applying for flats. Now, my guru doesn't want flats. What Southall needs desperately, Angela. Arjun, I'm sure you'll back me up on this.
Yep.
And Rashpal, what Southall needs very, very urgently is a YMCA.
Thank you.
For
That's
all
it.
the poor students.
Mm.
I've been told today that some rents in Southall are £1,000 per room.
For a room.
You know, I've not Joe.
Angela,
Joe.
Yes.
Some people,
Yes.
right, are giving out over £2,300 they're asking for rent. 2,300.
Now,
That's exploitation, isn't it? For somewhere quite grotty.
horrible,
Yeah,
Angela.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Because you know when I was walking around your area, Joe, there's a guy.
Yep.
He's a landlord on your road, but down the end near South Road, and he said there's a politician, I'm not going to name the politician, and this politician owns properties on King Street, and he goes to me, they're like a shithole.
Of course, I know who the politician is.
Yeah.
he
But,
himself lives in a £2 to £3 million house in Ealing.
Yeah, but people, people are suffering. They can't afford. They're exploited. They can't. They're not going to get anywhere on the council housing list. They need somewhere to live. They're at the mercy of these unscrupulous landlords, without a doubt.
Angela, there are students who have spent £25,000 to £35,000 to arrive in the United Kingdom, and you want to see the squalor they're living in. It's shameful.
Yeah, I believe it.
This
It's
should be
horrendous.
this should be our new task in the new year, Angela.
Yeah.
Again, we need to start knocking on doors and asking students how they feel.
You're right, Joe. Yeah, right. Yeah. This is how you get your intelligence, by speaking to people on the streets, yeah? And they tell us what it is they want for their life in Southall. And I remember this woman, when you were campaigning to be an independent, and she said, we need a community centre for our mental health. That's what she said. You get the truth by speaking to people on the streets. And this is what Ealing Labour don't want to do. That's why they don't hold meetings. We used to have the forums, which ended in 2020. Southall Town Forum, got no idea, how you participate in that, how often they meet. They do not want to engage with the public. The only people they want to engage with are people who have the mentality, you scratch my back, I scratch your back. Yeah? Yes,
men. Yes, women.
Yeah.
The same groups, the same faces. Look at the photographs. Look at last year. Oh, well, we haven't hit last year yet, but in January, look back at 2023 and look at every single meeting, and you see the same faces. So where are the residents? They disallow the residents because we will ask serious questions. They cannot answer.
We will challenge.
Of course.
The status quo. Yeah. They don't want that.
We rock the boat. And they don't look good. Especially when you've got the council there.
Well, the council will tell you, if you're talking about the organisation I think you're talking about, every time they have a meeting, they've got councillors there. There's Councillor John Martin, Councillor Anand, and the councillor for your ward, I forget her name now. She's there.
Jessel,
yeah.
And then Mark's always there, the politician.
Yeah.
Mark, the
That's
politician.
not about for the people. It's painting a false reality. Like you say, same old people, but it satisfies the funders, Joe. Keeps the funding chain open and alive.
When they walk out, including Peter Mason, and then they walk over homeless people. I'll never forget that sight in my life. I will never forget that sight in my life.
Shocking.
They walked over homeless people outside Southall Town Hall. How shameful are these people? How embarrassing is this? They are inhumane. They've
got no humanity. There was a homeless guy, this is back in the summer, and he sat behind Spencer Street Playground. I thought it was a dummy at first, and then it made me jump. His foot moved, and then I realised it was a human being. It wasn't a mannequin. But I started talking to him. And I said, do you stay here? And he said, yes, but I've called St. Mungo's. I'm waiting for St. Mungo's to come and pick me up. We have to remember that these people are human beings. We don't know what's happened in their life for them to end up in a situation on the streets. Yeah, but they are humans. Yeah,
It can happen to anybody.
yeah, to step over somebody,
It can happen to anybody.
yeah, absolutely, is the lowest of the low. To actually sidestep or step over them, that is just the lowest of the low. Can't stress it enough. But I spoke to him briefly, and I said, you know, I hope that things get better for you. And I had to walk away because he started to get very tearful, you know, and I wanted him to still have his dignity and not break down in front of me.
I was on Southall railway station one evening, and I was walking back home, and there were these two women who were taking people's details.
Oh yeah.
So when I see them walk away from these two gentlemen, I started speaking to them. I said, "What was that lady asking you?" She said she was asking us our names, where we live. I said, "Where do you live?" He said, "We live in Southall Park." So I said, "Where is the help? Where is the help?" I said, "Why don't you go?" Yeah, there's two places I know about. One is St. Mary's Church on the green.
All right, okay.
And the other one is Park View. There's a church there on the corner, yeah?
Oh yeah.
Now they are supposed to be serving food, hot meal, and the bed. Do you know what they said to me? They said, "We go there for the food, but we don't stay there." I said, "Why don't you stay there? They're getting money from the government. They're getting money from Ealing Council.
Yeah.
Why aren't you staying there?" He says they request that we read. Oh, sorry, they dictate that we read the Bible.
No.
I said, "They got no right to ask you to read the Bible."
No.
He said, "That's what they do." So what I did after that, I had a meeting with our MP, Mr. Sharma. Mr. Sharma came along with his gang of about 6-7 other men. Yeah. Do you remember that restaurant we used to use on the top of my road? On Beaconshire Road, opposite the college. Yeah.
Oh,
so
what? Omi's. Yeah.
Yeah, but afterwards, you know, it got a name changed, didn't it? When we used to go there, we used the name. That shut down.
Yeah.
So I had a meeting with Mr. Sharma, and I explained this to Mr. Sharma. And he said, "I know." I said, "Well, Mr. Sharma, if you know, what action have you been taking?" No response ever since. That was a few years ago.
Sorry to interrupt you. I am going to head off. Love
no
you
worries,
all.
no worries.
Leave you all. Have a good New Year if I don't see you all. And good Christmas if you celebrate it as well.
Likewise.
No, we'll try to get together in the new year. Don't worry.
Yeah. Moti Mahal, man. Meet there.
We're definitely due.
Yeah, Moti. Yeah, I think we'll aim to have a face-to-face meeting, and that'll be nice. Of course. But have a good break for Christmas, and hope you have a nice time with your family, just relaxing and catching up on some rest. And yeah, I appreciate your contributions tonight, especially on gentrification, and yeah, that's useful.
I'll message the group to see if I get anywhere. The WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
Got in my notebook.
Well done.
And I'll hopefully chance it right and see the manager will hopefully be in tomorrow. Because normally their excuse is they're not in, they're out at another garage, which is rubbish. We all know they're at home chilling out.
Yeah.
And
but do let us know how you get on.
I'll try it. Yeah.
You can only try your best. That's the best.
That's right.
Exactly.
It's better to try than not try at all.
Yeah.
Of course.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'll let you guys know. I'll probably go in about the early morning tomorrow. Get it done with. Hopefully they'll be there early morning tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the best. I wish everybody a Merry Christmas.
Take care.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas to everybody.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year to everybody as well.
Rajpal, can you hear us or is she gone?
Good. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year to everyone.
Yeah, we've come a long way.
Of course we have.
And it was Joe's brainchild to have a monthly community meeting. And I was actually lying down on the sofa when you were telling me, and I jumped up to actually make some notes.
All of you.
Cash is brilliant. Glad to be part of it.
Yeah. We keep moving forward in 2024, but
Of
we all
course.
deserve to have a good break, you know, on Christmas Day and Boxing Day with our families and just relax.
Boxing Day, Christmas Day, the 27th, and Christmas Eve, where there's no Elizabeth line, which is great.
All right, yeah.
Hey,
We
Angela.
all deserve a good rest, and I think we can reflect
Angela.
on how far we've come.
Angela, not all of us look forward to Christmas. It's my birthday, you see. I'm a year older.
Okay. Oh,
Oh, is your birthday
well,
actually on Christmas Day, Joe?
how about a year
I'm-
wiser? You're a year wiser, so that's a good thing.
Yes, smarter.
Happy birthday, Joe.
Happy birthday,
Yeah,
Joe.
you.
happy birthday in
Thank you.
advance.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But we'll sort out a date to meet in January.
100%.
And,
100%.
yeah, and I think probably we'll do an online again in January, but
Sure.
February, I think let's look at trying to do a face-to-face meeting.
Weekends work for me because
Yeah.
of uni.
And then
stuff.
kind of like maybe every quarter we're aiming to have
yeah.
a face-to-face, and that gives people the opportunity to attend who don't like online meetings or
Of
don't
course.
have digital access. But yeah, I wish you all a very happy Christmas and a great break with your families.
Happy early birthday,
I
Joe.
really, you know,
Thank you.
I have to take my hat off to you, Joe, for having this idea of a meeting. We fill a gap really, which
100%.
you know, the councillors have failed, and it makes us stronger as a community, you know. And
100%.
the good thing is, Arjan, if you were not familiar with Joe and Happy, you might have readily believed what you were told by Mr.
Yeah.
Sharma. So all power to
I
you.
knew it was
Having the
nonsense.
intelligence
I
to make
knew
up
it
your
was
own mind
nonsense
about
in the first place.
his
And
character.
yeah,
and,
so Joe just helped me just give me that extra knowledge to how Sharma works, how Labour works. and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, dirty politics, as he says.
Hmm.
Yeah, but let's focus on happiness. That, you know, we're going to
course.
have a really good rest. I think we have worked so well together. We've done our
Well done.
best to raise objections to Berkeley Group's plan. We've done our best still to fight the fight regarding air quality and getting the council to take action against local polluters. But yeah, let's move on into 2024. Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, good night, everybody. So
Good night. Merry Christmas,
Good clap,
everybody.
everybody.
Good night.
all right,
Good
take care.
night.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye
God
bye.
bless.
See you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.